what type of prohibitions do you have? You say you've lost friends because of the way you practice. Now, do you have any prohibitions on who you can associate with, where you can go?
I shouldn't technically go to like restaurants that are secular or not kosher. Like I shouldn't go to movie theaters. I shouldn't go to baseball games. I shouldn't necessarily go to parks and stuff, because the things that are activities that are done there aren't exactly kadosh and Hashem, meaning holy for God. So technically speaking, an Orthodox Jew wouldn't go to a movie to see the new Avengers movie. Why? Because it's not really a holy thing.
And
Me
I've
personally,
seen that most Orthodox Muslims who pretend that they're closer to God, they're closer to Allah, they don't go to the movie theaters, they don't listen to music, are the most judgmental fuckwads that live on planet Earth. But the funny part is they gossip. Like, they maybe don't listen to music, but they're fucking gossipers. And that's a huge sin in Islam, you know?
Yeah, gossip, Lashon Hara.
See, it's in all religions. This is not Muslims. It's Christians. All cults are gossiping like that because everybody's competing to demonstrate to everyone else how pious they are.
I know that.
They're all carrying on an act for their fellows.
That's why you gotta be who you are.
Yeah. I don't get along with other Muslims because of that. Because I don't blame you. I wouldn't either.
That's why God didn't make you. That's why God didn't make you Jewish. That's why God made you Jewish. You got to be you. God made you.
Hey, John. What about sitting in chairs? Like you said, you go to a movie theater. You know, plenty of Gentiles that are menstruating women sit in those chairs. And how can an Orthodox
technically speaking, an Orthodox man can't sit next to a woman. That's not married. That he's not married.
I'm talking about sitting in the chair, not sitting in a chair where.
I can sit in a chair that a woman sit in. I can perfectly sit in a chair that a woman sit in. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, just can't touch her physically, right?
I can't touch. Yeah.
Neither can you. You're not allowed to touch a woman as an atheist either. That would be sexual harassment.
That's a good point. That's true.
Well, I mean, if you're like an extreme justice warrior
a woman can shake my hand.
Shut the fuck up, you.
A woman can shake my hand.
Holy shit!
I think you shake hands and shit.
Sometimes I wish that the paralysis would affect your mouth, you know, to keep it shut, you know.
I'm not even allowed to shake a woman's hand. I'm not even allowed to hug a woman, touch a woman, shake their hand.
It's the same as Islam. It's the same.
I'm not technically, you know. Only the woman that I'm married to is a woman.
Why? Because you can't be trusted.
Technically speaking, yes. Men are pigs. Men are disgusting. Yeah, that's true.
That was actually a scientific thing proven about a man who touching a woman's hand. He gets an erection out of that.
What?
Men are pretty childish. We have to separate the men when we pray. Women have to go to a separate room than we do because it would create problems.
Alex, you're good on the call.
About 2 minutes. How come it doesn't create problems with like Christians?
Because they don't bend over; they sit at a bench.
Christians they don't.
No,
I'm not gonna say nothing.
I know why. Because they target little boys.
Christians aren't.
Do Jews bend over like the Muslims? No.
When we daven, we bend.
Yeah.
Every time you pray, you get.
In some prayers, you have to bend your knees. Yeah.
Like, John, I have a question for you that I've been wanting to ask a Jew for a long time, but for some reason haven't. Man, like, what is your take on all the, like, laws regarding sacrifices in the Old Testament? You know, like a sacrifice this kind of animal for this, you know, for your, like, unintentional sins and all that. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Sure, there's hundreds of different sacrificial sins, yeah.
Like, Like, how does a Jew living in the 21st century tackle that, or, you know, handle that?
The prayers are the sacrifices are very spiritual. Like, to call it a sacrifice is actually a mistranslation. The word korbanot in Hebrew actually translates to closeness, not sacrifice. So the word sacrifice is a very goyish Christian term that they made up. What we're doing is when we give a sacrifice, we're going closer to God. We're becoming closer to God. So by putting an animal on the altar, metaphorically speaking, in a symbolism, is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, symbolic, right?
Symbolic.
Yeah, symbolic. It's symbolic. Putting an animal on the sacrifice on the altar is like giving up our animal instincts, giving it up, you know, getting rid of it so that we could become closer to God. But in modern day Judaism, we substituted the animal sacrifices for praying. So we pray now instead of killing animals. So we translate. Huh?
Do you eat that? Do you eat the animal after?
Afterwards, the priests, the Cohen, the high priest, and the other Cohen and Levites would eat the animals. Yeah,
oh,
it was like a big barbecue.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Wait, hang on, quick question. Is Cohen a Levite last name?
Cohen?
Yeah.
Cohen means it means they're a Cohen, a priest.
I've heard from some Jews that you can tell like what tribe a particular Jew belongs to by his last name.
Well, there's only 2 tribes that are left. The other 10s are extinct. They were exterminated by non-Jews, but the Levites and Judah is the only tribes that are left.
Can that be genetically proven?
Yes, a Cohen can actually has markers in their genetic code that shows that they originated in the Middle East.
And so this Sacha Baron Cohen is a descendant of Levi.
Of a Levite, yeah. He's a real Jew. Yeah, he's a real bona fide Jew.
It's a popular name. It's a popular name. I know a lawyer in Detroit. His last name was Cohen.
It means he comes from a line of priests. His people were priests at one point.
Maybe that's why he was doing law, Alex.
Hey.
Yeah,
actually, I learned that from my dad, who told me he learned that from a Jewish friend that he had.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my dad was a funny Christian. You know, he loved the Jews, for sure.
Like Levi jeans. The blue jeans, Levi jeans, was founded by a Jew that was a priest, a Jewish priest.
Oh, really? No shit, man.
Yeah.
Never knew
Um, Like, if I didn't marry a Christian woman, my dad would have been okay with me marrying a Jew.
Okay, sounds cool. It wouldn't make sense for you to marry a Jew. It's kind of be weird, but okay.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm telling you about my dad. That's not how I.
Can I ask you a question, John? Do you claim that the universe has a creator? Like 100%, you're making the claim that the universe has a creator.
Yes, I believe that the universe was created by God. He spoke
but I didn't ask if you believe. You know, that's a different word. I asked, do you claim it with 100% certainty?
He does. He obviously clearly does.
No, I'm asking you the question.
I don't know what you're trying. I get. Yeah, sure. The universe has a creator. Yeah. Sure.
Like thing is,
you're claiming that.
Like
even though the
he did it twice.
Millions of scientists. Hold on, millions of scientists. Their job is to observe nature. That's science. To observe nature. They cannot observe a creator so far.
You have your answer.
We have not.
He just claimed it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, hold on, one second.
I believe that.
So,
God
and you're claiming.
Yes, God communicated us.
It is.
Yes, God spoke to the Jewish people and gave us Torah, and the Torah says that He created the universe.
How can it be possible that you can observe better than 10 million scientists, than millions of
Because I trust God over scientists.
Yeah.
I
so you're creating an alternate reality, sort of. Science says this is reality.
In a way,
to be this.
In a way, I would say the scientists were the ones that are creating an alternate reality. I live in a reality where.
Do
If God,
Do you
I believe in
realize
reality,
that-
if God stopped thinking, the world would stop existing.
Yeah. I'm more getting to the point of this claim that you make.
Is there
that the
someone over there
universe has
choking
a
on a
creator.
fucking dick or something? What's going on?
I don't know.
Who's over there choking on their microphone?
Sorry.
You all right?
Do you
Yeah, I'm
realize
fine.
that
I went outside for a smoke and yeah, I mean.
Do you realize that that's
I
the
took a-
definition of psychosis? The definition of psychosis is that you ascribe to a different reality than what the majority.
Just because the majority
Yeah,
say
you
something
say.
doesn't mean it's right or wrong or acceptable.
I know that, but I'm just saying.
I'm not a
you
Democrat.
know, no, hold on. Science saves billions of lives. Science is the closest.
Only
to
God
the truth
saves.
that we
I
have.
disagree.
Hold on.
I believe that only God saves people. We might
Through
think
science.
that we might
Through
think that
science.
medicine helps it.
No.
We might think that's how it's done, but we don't know.
I'm just saying, science itself saves billions of lives.
Sure,
Thank
we
you.
can say take the medicine, it'll help you. Sure, why not? I'm right here. I'm drinking Johnny Walker Black Label right now. I'm gonna take a shot. It's my medication. Makes me feel better. Sure, sure. It's my reality. Johnny Walker
Well,
tastes
I'm
good.
saying more
L'chaim.
hospital. Universities, science gave us universities, hospitals. That's always saying.
Let me
science,
tell you-
not with medicine.
Let me tell you something. Some of the greatest minds in medicine and science have been Jewish people.
Yeah, but I mean, you're diverging the point. You're going to a different point.
Some of the greatest
I'm trying to
rabbis
say something to you.
made
You know,
money. You know,
science
how
saves.
some of these, you know how rabbis like Rashi and Rambam and Nachmanides made a living back thousands of years ago? They were personal doctors of some of the greatest men that ever lived. Muslims that were the Ottoman Empire had their personal doctor was a Yid. Why? Because they knew that they had knowledge of Torah. They knew Torah had knowledge. There's something to it for some reason. I don't know. I can't give you the answer why, but all I can tell you there's something to us, something to it.
Well, I realize there's something to it, man. I'm not disputing that, but you know, it's thousands of years old. I think we've moved on now. We have philosophy, we have law, we have police.
I agree. Torah
I'm
is
sure
always
that
changing.
you know you're hung up on that one book of yours, but yet you.
I'm not hung up on one book. That's not true. Judaism
Have
is.
you read philosophy? Have you read philosophy?
Judaism
Have you
has
read
thousands of books. The Judaism is comprised of thousands of books throughout the ages.
The Kabbalah.
The Kabbalah, the Talmud,
I've
the
read
Mishnah,
that.
the Gemara, yes, the hundreds of collections of volumes.
But have you read modern philosophers? Like, you know, you're talking about 1,000-year-old philosophy here. 1,000-year-old philosophy.
Doesn't it count the power that it has? Just because
No,
something
I'm saying,
old?
have
Are
you-
you
have you
ages?
read-
Are you against ages? What are you, an ageist?
Have you read modern philosophy?
A little bit here. I mean, once in a while,
Yeah, you should
Well,
read
does
Eckhart
Maimonides count as modern philosophy?
He lived about 600 years ago.
Yeah, 1300s or something.
No, I'm saying like 2010. That's modern.
So who's this 2010 guy that you want me to read? Is there someone in particular?
Eckhart Tolle.
Oh,
Is
I
he a good
got
guy? What
Eckhart
does
Tolle all lined up for everybody to hear, if you like.
So what does he say? What does he spout?
The only problem is it's 9
He
hours.
speaks. So A New Earth. That's
A
one
New
book I
Earth.
highly recommend.
A New Earth. Okay, you want to listen?
Oh yeah.
Not
Have
really.
you got it? What is it on
Yeah.
YouTube or?
No.
I'd rather
Fucking watch
listen
YouTube and
to
then
Jameson. I'd rather listen to my Irish whiskey speak to me. I'd rather listen to the good old
Don't
Jameson.
put it on.
Penguin Audio presents A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. Written and read by Eckhart Tolle.
Sounds like Goyish nonsense.
Chapter 1 The Flowering of Human Consciousness. Evocation. Earth, 114 million years ago, one morning just after sunrise. The first flower ever to appear on the planet opens up to receive the rays of the sun. Prior to this momentous event that heralds an evolutionary transformation in the life of plants, the planet had already been covered in vegetation for millions of years. The first flower probably did not survive for long, and flowers must have remained rare and isolated phenomena, since conditions were most likely not yet favorable for widespread flowering to occur. One day, however, a critical threshold was reached, and suddenly there would have been an explosion of color and scent all over the planet, if a perceiving consciousness had been there to witness it. Much later, those delicate and fragrant beings we call flowers would come to play an essential part in the evolution of consciousness of another species. Humans would increasingly be drawn to and fascinated by them. As the consciousness of human beings developed, flowers were most likely the first thing they came to.
Okay, we got 9 hours of this ahead of us. Are you ready? You got your
No,
popcorn?
I'd rather put a gun to my head and pull the trigger.
All right.
He's fucking up on that, man.
Okay.
See that? You gotta really listen, but to the first shot, so to understand what he's saying.
I got a whole bunch. I got them all. You told me
Yeah.
to. Yeah, you told me to line this one up, so I did.
Nice. No, it's top stuff, man.
Yeah.
That guy's awesome. Thought about Zen and stuff, but a lot about Zen.
Right.
Sup, Alec, man? You alright?
Hey,
G'day, mate. G'day, Skip.
What the hell was
the
that?
first
Either when you just-
flower up on Earth.
What are you
It was a
talking about?
momentous. No.
Is that Liam again?
Is that Liam again? Yeah. Unfortunately for you.
No, really. It's unfortunately for you.
No, I said fortunately for you.
No. Why is it that you've got nowhere else to go but here?
Because you love me that much, isn't it?
Truth be told, no.
Well, what's the abnormality? Where's the abnormality coming from? Siyaa?
Yeah, you seem to be either like if you've got something that you want to say to Siyaa that you can't get out, I think now's the time that you have the opportunity. Just say it.
I think it's pretty clear. My opinions on Siyaa.
Because I think this Muslim thing that you're using is just a mask. There's something deep down that you want to say to Siyaa. So now's the time for you to say it.
No, I have nothing to say to Siyaa.
Then why is it every time you come here, if she's the first one that you glom onto?
Because usually when we're talking about Islam, she defends Islam, isn't it? So who else are you going to...
We're never, ever talking about Islam when you start attacking her, using Islam as your weapon.
Islam isn't as bad as people make it out to be.
Exactly. It's you know, listen, just like I don't like Orthodox Jews, and John knows how much I hate Orthodox Judaism and the people who follow it. On the whole, you know, it's still not that dangerous. And Islam, as certainly as practiced by Siyaa, is the least dangerous form of Islam I've ever come across. So why would you actually think of even throwing your or shooting arrows at her for really no reason whatsoever? I just don't get it from you, Liam. Please explain.
You don't get it?
No, please explain yourself.
I haven't read the book, have I?
It doesn't matter. Why do you even go there?
Go where? I don't go to Siyaa. I go to Islam. If I was speaking about Islam, and she chooses to defend Islam, what am I meant to do?
But nobody's talking about Islam besides you.
Sydney is saying he sees a pattern in your behavior.
Sees a pattern in my behaviour that I talk about
And
Islam.
it's very peculiar.
I do talk about Islam, I don't deny that.
Yeah, but this is not
It's not peculiar, is it?
This is not the platform. This is the Christians are stupid platform, okay? Not the Islam is to be attacked or the Jews are to be attacked. Not yet. We can get there, but not now.
I mean, out of all the people in the world that don't cause problems, Christians are the least amount of problem. You know, they commit the least.
It's got nothing to do with that. It's got nothing to do with that.
But I'm asking you, like, why bother the Christians? Though?
I'll tell you why. Because the ideology,
all Christians really say is don't be a fag.
I said I'll tell you why. I said I'll tell you why.
All the Christians say is don't kill babies and don't be a fag. That's all they say. What is that such a big deal?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Don't you fucking tell me what not to be and what to be.
I have a problem.
Fuck you. I tell you what. Don't believe in God. That's all I want you to do. Don't believe in God. That's it. Nothing else. Okay? Thank you very much.
Also, can I add, Sydney? Christians are I think they're the easiest they're the smartest Christians.
No, they got the dumbest ideology. They got the dumbest ideology of everybody.
Yeah, so but I mean, they're adaptable. I mean, look how they've created the Western world.
They're easy to get along with, aren't they?
No, they're not. No, they are not easy to get along with. No, they're not.
I believe that if all Christians die, there's going to be peace in Israel.
I find it easier to find
I agree.
I find it
Let's make sure. Let's get rid of all the Christians, either by conversion or through sterilization. For sterilization of all Christians.
But then you're left with the Jews and the Muslims.
Yeah, but the Jews, you see, I tell you. Okay, yeah, I'll give you an example of how smart the Jews are, right, versus how smart the Catholics are. Okay, you get a Catholic guy who's smart enough to learn how to read Latin and think and teach. Okay. So you send him out into the world to spread so he can spread his knowledge. Now, he spreads his knowledge to the stupid people so they can learn, but he's not allowed to spread his genes. He's not allowed to spread his DNA to keep up the smartness. However, the Jews, they're smart, they learn, they teach, but they also spread their DNA as much as they can. So you get more and more smart Jews. More and more smart Jews. The Catholics, they're so stupid. They're so fucking stupid. They take the smartest people and they ensure that they cannot breed. How fucking stupid is that?
Why can't the Catholics breed? Oh, because you can only marry into the Catholic.
No, because they have to be Catholic priests have to be celibate.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you?
I don't think
if Christian Hillbilly was a Muslim, what would he be like?
Priests, you know. I mean, these are people who go to the monasteries and convents by choice.
These are the people who over 1,000 years of Catholic rule would not breed, even though they were chosen to go to the monasteries and to go to be a priest because they stood out as smart little kids. Come on, man.
You make sense that the church is actively hunting down smart people and dragging them.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it. Well, not. You know that in Orthodox, Romanian Orthodox, the priest has to be married.
A rabbi has to be married as well. Exactly. In Judaism,
I think it's the Pope.
In Judaism, a rabbi has to be married.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
Right.
In Islam,
what about in Islam?
He doesn't have to know.
Imam doesn't have to be married?
No.
Why?
It's a virtue to be married, but he doesn't have to be married to be an imam.
Huh.
Is that like
No, you don't have to be married to be a rabbi.
He's saying that it's okay either way.
But once you're a rabbi, you should be married.
Yeah, it's okay to be married or not married, to be an imam.
Yeah, like Catholic priests are not allowed to be married, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Is that why they molested the boys?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Now because they're sexually repressed.
Right. Yeah. Now, in the Jewish religion, Jews Jewish people must be married or should be married because the Jews understand the sexuality of humans, and what they do is they make that kind of sacred within the bonds of marriage. Do whatever the hell you like. There's no limitations.
Also sodomy?
Whatever you like, anything you like. No, there's no limitations. In them, as long as it's consensual, right? But there's no limitations in the marital bed as far in Judaism, as long as it's in the marital bed. That's
what do you mean?
Yeah, sodomy isn't allowed in Islam.
What about sodomy?
No, if your wife, your Jewish wife, wants to be sodomized and you're okay with it, then go for it.
Oh, okay.
Sodomy is only.
I thought it was going to be unclean.
Sodomy only applies to men in Judaism.
Well, there you go.
Do
There's
Jews
that.
have sex with a hole in a blanket?
No,
Of course.
no, that's a myth.
Okay.
You're not the only one who thinks that, by the way.
You know, and I know that's a myth because at the Lubavitcher, one of the lectures that was brought up as a question and debunked.
Goyim when we wear an undergarment that has a hole in it that goes over our head, zitzes. So when we used to clean it and put it out on the laundry, Goyim used to think, oh, that must be the hole that they have sex through.
Ah, clever, yeah.
That's where it comes
That makes sense. Yes. Yes.
Is it true that Jews will steal Gentile babies and cook them?
Oh yeah, we put in the matzah every Passover.
But there's an age limit. They won't go over a certain age, so they're very humanistic.
Is that where the story that atheists see babies came from? You know,
they'll only take a baby that doesn't know what's going on. So, which I think is.
Wait, were the boys like, oh, you know, Jews eat babies and Jews are atheists, so hey, you know,
Jews are atheists.
It originates with Sarah and Abraham. Sarah and Abraham were old when they had children, so the Talmud says that the Gentiles used to say they stole they stole non-Jewish babies and raised them and kept them, and that's where their kids came from. It originates from there.
Man, European Christians are weird.
European Christians?
Yeah, man.
What about North American Christians, for fuck's sake? They're the weirdest. They're the weirdest fucks I've ever come across. I swear to God.
Yeah. Have you ever read Oliver Twist, Sydney?
Yes. Well, yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I forgot the name of the bad guy. You know, it was this old man who was like in charge of a band of
Fagin.
Pickpockets.
Yeah.
They would always describe him as a shriveled old Jew.
Yeah, he was Jewish.
Right?
Fagin.
Yeah.
And he was a Jew.
And it's like, like when I read that story, I was like, holy shit, man! It's like Charles Dickens was an anti-Semite.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't an anti-Semite. I don't think so. He was just showing. He was a writer of and pointing. He was a contemporary writer and writing about shit that happens in his time. Come on, man.
Please, sir, can I have some more food?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, yeah, you know, the bad guy is, you know, the.
He wasn't an anti-poverty activist, was he? Anti-child welfare, anti-child labor activist.
Oliver Twist, yeah. Then he met a pickpocket, you know, the Artful Dodger, and he introduced him to this band of pickpockets.
The Artful Dodger was a little kid.
And their leader was an old shriveled Jew.
Yeah. That's right. The Artful Dodger was a little kid, and Fagin was the Jew, the old Jew. But he was a very nice guy, because what he would do is he'd take care of his kids. He'd send them out in the morning to go and pickpocket and stuff and come back. And at the end, when they all came back and gave their goods, he would reward them. And you know, it's not, he wouldn't just use them for child labor. He would actually, they were partners, in effect. So being Fagin the Jew is not such a bad thing, after all, isn't it, kids? Yay, Fagin! Now, kids, your homework assignment is to write out 1,000,000 times, you may copy paste, the following. Jews are cool.
I don't know about Jews being cool. Jews are alright.
They don't cause problems. I don't mind.
I call Fagin, Richard Feynman.
Okay, how about this? How about this? Hold on a second. Hold on this.
But, you know,
Jews are.
Karl Marx and Bernie Sanders, they could go.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a second, Dan. Okay, I've changed my what I need. Jews are blank. You fill in the blank. One word though. 1,000,000 times. Due Monday morning, my office.
Big no.
Psychotic.
Jews are shrugs shoulders.
Like people are always like, Dan, you have a Jew nose. Ha ha ha. Yeah.
Jews are hook noses.
Muslims are.
No, we haven't gone to Muslims yet. We're first to the Jews.
Oh.
Stick to the
Jews are
topic.
bankers.
Jews are bankers. Jews are wankers. You might as well save these answers
When I was a freshman
you
in
might as well
college,
save
man.
these exact answers for the Muslims, by the way. And the Christians.
There was this one guy.
Oh, I can go all out if you want.
Yeah, no, we're gonna
I'm afraid.
get ready because we're gonna give you the floor, Siyaa.
And he would wear a yarmulke and a bunch of bandanas and he was sagging his pants.
Okay. Here, I'll tell you what. Here's my suggestion. Because Siyaa's the most qualified, I say we hear what she's got to say. Jews are. Siyaa, go for it.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do it.
Come on.
One word, go. Jews
Come
are.
on, no. She's probably got a whole volume of them, so let's go for it.
Oven dodger.
I said
Jews are
psychotic.
oven
That's
dodgers.
pretty bad. Oven dodgers.
All right, step right in whenever you feel comfortable.
Like
Yeah, I cannot say it.
So psychotic is the most insulting one yet, I guess.
The European Jews that are left are descendants of those who dodged the oven.
So they're smart.
Comes
They're
to my
smart.
mind.
They dodge the oven. Yeah, Jews are
The
smart.
Jews-
So Jews are
The
smart. Jews are smart.
The Jews are going extinct.
Jews are
Chosen.
no. That's two words.
Chosen?
Chosen.
Oh,
That's a
That's
lie.
a book, man. There's this book that I had to read for high school. It was about, these Jews in New York, and it was called The Chosen. Yeah.
I read that book. Potok was the author.
Okay.
Putin? No.
Let's move to Islam, to Muslims.
Oh, for the Muslim side of it, I read a book called The Hajj by Leon Uris.
Can we move Muslims out? Let's move to Muslims out. What? Can I
No,
start?
no. Let's stick with the
Muslim-
Jews. I want Siyaa.
Trying to go to Muslim Zara.
I'm saying Muslims are
Our
bad.
first, okay, we'll go to Muslims are once Siyaa has
Silence.
emptied her mind about the Jews.
Or how about atheists? Atheists are...
Cool. Cool.
There's nothing bad you can say about
Atheists.
atheists. Sorry.
Rational. Irrational.
Yeah, but that's not exactly the greatest insult in the world.
Atheists are arrogant.
We have a right to be, because we're
Some
right,
atheists-
because we're
Some
correct.
atheists are rascals, like they just rebel. They're rascals.
Atheists are billionaires.
Communists, man.
Well, I mean,
What was that one? League Janez. What'd you say?
name me a billionaire, name me 100 billionaires, and I'll name you 95, and I'll show you 95 atheists.
These are all going, Jews.
Atheists are victims.
Dude, it doesn't matter who you are. Humans are gonna fucking kill each other, bro. But when people were communists in the 60s, or pro-communist, they used to go around doing this shit. Do you know what I mean? It won't matter. Take away the religion, alright? You think we, as a human species, are gonna stop acting like cunts? Not gonna
See,
happen.
this is an
That's
argument for
law.
transhumanism.
That's what we're
That's
talking
another reason why I'm a fucking transhumanist, man.
See, I agree with Dan. Dan's fucking
Yeah.
on the ball. And I'm with Danny at the moment. Like, seriously, man, it's where it's going to end up. You take away religion, we'll fight about something else. You take away politics, we'll fight about this guy's got more brown hair than the other one. We'll start a war over it. That's what we're like.
I mean, my point is that, taking away religion from human beings, I don't think it's going to do a lot of good. You got to take the human being and change it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it'll
You
get
cannot
ruled out
change the human
in
being.
time. Exactly.
You cannot
can
change
never-
people.
Monkey with the human being's genetics and change them up.
Yeah.
Do stuff like that.
You'll never be able to get rid of religion. It's like saying you can get rid of cults. Cults will always be. There's nut jobs born every day that want to fucking control people and brainwash them and spin shit to them. People love to spin shit. Even we do. We do it to each other all the time. We try to sort of like bring you onto my cult, my point of view. You know?
The only people I've seen that really demonstrate to me they have trust in their God are jihadi Muslim martyrs, because they blow themselves up. They're the only people that I see that demonstrably really put their trust in their God
Yeah.
Because everyone else I know that claims they trust in God, whenever they are in need, they always rely on science. They put their trust in science.
If they could only just blow themselves up and not other people, that would be great.
Well,
what's the fun in
regardless of that, it's just the act, you know, the fact that they're willing to do that.
What's the fun in that?
Proves that they're so irrational they don't put
have
trust in
audience.
science.
They should have, yeah, maybe destroy
They
a
don't have
tree or
trust in
something.
science.
Blow up a tree, blow up a rock. You know, then you go to
But human blood is so addictive.
Human blood is addictive.
Yeah.
She's
The
just
more
trying,
the more
she's
that
trying to
goes,
read.
the better.
She's making an attempt to pull this back around to her and be toxic.
I'm just
To
saying,
validate-
just say what my
to
religion
validate
is saying,
her
Thomas. You know
this
better.
way. You are a child who's seeking validation. You cannot get otherwise.
I'm a child.
That's why you're here.
I'm a
You're a
child.
child. And it's sad.
And you're a dumbass.
Okay.
Jim, why are you queer?
My
How long have you
problem
been a queer,
will never
Jim?
go away. However, the problem you shackle your mind with, you can decide not to have it anymore. That's the difference.
Thomas,
You
I miss
choose
you trolling
your-
Jim.
Prison. I don't miss him.
I miss when you would troll him though. It's like,
Yeah,
Jim,
well,
why are you such a queer? You're a
honestly,
queer, Jim.
Dan, hey, look, man, I got a mindset that I started thinking about him when I wasn't talking to him, and I wanted to flip the switch and take that toxicity out of my mind because
Okay.
it wasn't benefiting me.
I
I mean, I'll talk about it. I'm not saying I don't talk about it. I'm just saying I made a decision, like an epiphany. I would not allow him to be a toxic influence in my world.
I actually admire that, man.
Yeah. You gotta get the toxic people out.
Yeah, but I mean, it would make me laugh when Thomas
I love how the
calls him a
toxic
queer.
people are talking about taking toxic people out. That's hilarious.
Is that Speaker's Corner? Is that Michael?
No, it's
Please.
Michael.
Oh.
Liam,
Me and Michael both used to have a speaker's corner thing, innit? But we had that
Oh.
room before, innit? We both had a speaker's corner account in it as well.
I first thought it was.
Michael was on it the other day, wasn't he?
I first thought it was down corner with another sub.
Oh, yeah.
like, why did he kick out down corner?
Why did I kick out down corner? I think because he just he went uncontrollable and lost it against was it UCA that he just went mental on?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just became intolerable and crossed a line, broke a rule, and I am God of the Hangout, and I am an unmerciful God.
I'm a revenge.
I'm a revenge. No, not a revengeful God. I'm just unmerciful.
Yeah.
So I ejected him from this heavenly place, and now he resides in a lake of fire.
No, it's amazing, bro. No.
Well, there you have it, guys.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, but
The juice. Was it? The juice?
no, the Jew's gone. He's left.
Oh, he's gone. He did, now we can talk about it.
He stepped
Well,
on the
hey,
tree.
look, I think it's interesting that he doesn't believe in afterlife or a soul, spirit.
Well, Jews don't.
Right, I didn't know that.
Really?
Not a specific one. They do believe that you open up yourself to God, and the rest is up to God.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So
worry. That's cool.
there's no way of getting into heaven, or it's just to get closer.
We don't know. We don't know.
Read the book of Ecclesiastes, and then tell me what you think about the Jewish afterlife.
Oh, okay. All right. Just give me one moment.
I think it's basically getting closer to God is the.
So Genesis, Exodus,
because God is
Leviticus,
immortal.
Numbers.
Closer they get.
But I mean, I think Ecclesiastes contradicts what it says about the afterlife in other books of the Bible. So I mean,
is Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament or the New Testament?
Yeah, the Old Testament.
What's the first volume?
I mean, it can be a depressing read. I'm not gonna lie. First time I read it, I was like, wow, you know.
Did you guys see how when I asked this guy, when I explained it to him that he's claiming an alternate reality exists, and that's the definition of psychosis? Did you notice how his ego came straight in? Like, he started like speaking in a different tone, and he's like, it's like he was playing a game now. I noticed that. I didn't say anything, but it was like he started a game.
Who are you talking about?
Like, that guy, the Jewish guy. What's his name?
John.
John? Yeah, John. Yeah, he completely changed his tone, and it sort of became a game to him because he knew he couldn't say anything else that was factual. The fact is, he is claiming an alternate reality other than the scientists, and that's the definition of psychosis.
Like,
the
thing is, like, you ask him if he claims that God created the universe, like, right after he made that claim, so, I mean, yeah, I mean, is he mistaken? Yeah, I think so. But, yeah, I mean, he's obviously claiming that.
There's no proof of God. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like me claiming fucking flying horses exist. You know?
But there is no proof that God doesn't exist.
That's not the way science works, man. Go read science.
I mean,
what do the Amish believe?
I mean, not 100% proof, man. But I mean, I think there is evidence against the existence of God. You know,
against the existence of God.
Yeah, against the existence of God, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, is there? Yeah, I guess you could say. I don't know. Really.
I mean,
you can't really prove a non-existence. You can't.
You know, and I think the most, strongest evidence comes from cosmology, man. You know, completely blows out of the water the idea that, someone or something created the universe.
I don't think it does at all. What if God was just, the universe was a box of matches, and God is the one that sparked the match, and that's the universe. That spark of the first match is the universe. How the fuck can you prove that's not true? Can you prove to me it's not true?
The thing is, like, cosmology tells us that it's been there since, the quote-unquote dawn of time, man. So it's been around there for all time. That means there wasn't a time when it wasn't there. So, I mean, it's not, you can't even say that it was created. You can't say that anyone created it.
It started in a singular point. You do know that.
Yeah, it started in a singular point. I mean, that was the universe.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you wanna say that before then it didn't exist, I mean that's nonsensical, man. Because we're talking about the very beginning of time, and you want to talk about what was or wasn't before at the beginning of time. If I was home, man, I'd be pulling my little diagram. I mean, it makes it a lot
I've seen your diagram.
I've seen your diagram. You can't prove to me.
And it looks like shit.
It doesn't really matter, even if you can prove that there was something.
It looks like a toddler made that.
I'm talking about the one that I made digitally. But...
Oh, I put the other one. There was another one of you.
The first one he made was by hand.
Yeah, on paper.
Yeah.
But put it this way, Dan, there's no convincing evidence against God's existence.
So what about Ecclesiastes are you actually pointing out, Dan? Because I can't see anything specific.
Huh?
I disagree with that.
Your microphone is very low, Sydney. Like
I can hear you, Dan.
You can't reach. You can't reach over.
But I disagree with that.
You know why? Because I was sitting far back from my microphone. Is that better?
How,
Oh yeah, this
how
is much better.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, you said that
Okay.
there isn't convincing evidence that there is no God.
No, I'm asking Dan. What about Ecclesiastes? Is that you're pointing out that?
Okay, hang on. Give me a second. I'll pull it.
Because I've got it in front of me and I'm going through it, and I found one thing that was familiar, and that was kind of a poetic thing, but I don't know. I'll read it to you in the meantime. It's actually kind of cool. If I can find it again.
Who is blowing in the microphone?
My vape.
Oh, old vapor. Oh, here, listen to this.
I don't really understand this thing that he's saying. You can't disprove, something that doesn't exist in the first place.
Okay, Sydney.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, Sydney, are you listening?
I am.
Look up Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 5.
Verse 5.
Is that the Torah?
Just 5.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I guess you can say it.
All right.
Wait.
Ecclesiastes.
Well, I mean, it's the Old Testament. I'm not sure if that's like part of the Torah, but I mean, it's Jewish for sure.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 5. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything. Neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the book has to say about death.
Well, okay, let me also read you Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through...
They just wrote in there, like,
1 through 8. How about that? It's like a poem almost.
Can you repeat it?
Ecclesiastes 3, verses 1 through 8.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, that's like reading the verse in context. Okay.
Okay.
And what does it say?
To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to seek and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend, a time to sow. And a time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. That's it up to...
That's actually very beautiful.
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
And that's 1 grade, right?
Huh?
Time to kill. That sound.
I think I just heard my eulogy.
That's
No, I think I'm gonna read that and leave that in a video locker.
All right, that's Ecclesiastes 3 verses 1.
For people.
Ecclesiastes 3 verses 1 through 8.
Yeah, I plan on making a series of videos for people.
Oh, nice.
What a fucking sad fucking word.
And then it says, for the dead know nothing.
Yeah, right. On your one, on number 9. Oh,
who the fuck is this cunt to claim that, man? Who the fuck are these people? The dead know nothing. How the fuck do they know what the dead know?
That's what I think
stupid.
too. That's what I think too, man. Once you die.
Well, they dead know nothing because they're dead. It makes sense.
How do you know?
Because they're dead! Hello?
Whatever.
What do you mean, whatever? It's
it's like that saying by
being dead and being alive is not the same thing. When you're alive, you know shit. You think you know.
Actually, when you look at energy energy cannot be destroyed, Sydney. Energy never dies.
Energy doesn't have knowledge.
Always.
Yeah, but we're talking.
What do you mean?
What
I'm
about
made of
mind?
energy and I have knowledge.
Yeah, but when you die, the knowledge dies. The energy's there, the knowledge dies.
How do you know?
Because you're dead.
How do you know, man?
Because you're dead.
I mean, energy never dies, but that's irrelevant.
It doesn't matter. That shit fucking book is no one to tell me what the fucking dead know or don't
Okay, well,
know.
let me read this again.
Who the fuck are these people?
Okay, can I read this again?
Wait. I have a quick question for Alex. Alex, do you think that's a death thing?
I don't know, but I don't need a book telling me if they do or they don't. Unless because they don't know either. Who the fuck are they to claim that the dead don't know anything? Who are they?
Okay, can I just for the benefit of myself, because I'm a little bit retarded in that I need to read things more than once to sort of get them. It's Ecclesiastes 9, verse 5. Okay, this is how it goes. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything, neither have they any more a reward. For the memory of them is forgotten. End.
The memory of them is forgotten. Do you think Oprah is forgotten? Honestly,
Well, it's true, because once people die, the living forget them.
Read verse 10.
How long do you reckon we'll remember Einstein for? Perhaps forever? So he's not forgotten.
How about Einstein's brother's father?
Whatever.
Einstein's
Why
brother's
can't you not
wife's
appreciate
father.
just the text? Like, why can't you not appreciate the text in a figuratively way?
But I mean,
Because
does
it's
it
a
sound to you?
cult, man. It's a cult. It's not just a philosophy. It's an actual cult that aimed to brainwash people. There's people that are sitting
No,
there
that's your
reading this book
interpretation.
over and over.
That's your
You know, they don't read
interpretation.
like a normal person will read a philosophy book and they might put it down and read another one. These clowns, because it's a cult, they're sitting there reading the same word. There's a time to kill, a time to fucking live. Oh,
That's your
kill,
interpretation. That's your perspective. That's not my perspective.
Look at Islam.
my perspective.
Look at the fanatical Christians, how they act and shit.
What I just learned from that, what Sydney said was that there's a lot of different aspects to life, and I found it very poetic. I didn't find it violent. I didn't find it gross. I found it very beautiful, actually.
When somebody's coming at you with a weapon about to smash your head in, it's time to kill him, isn't it?
Sydney,
Yeah, that's exactly not what I interpreted as.
Yeah, but I mean, that is a time to kill, right there.
Sydney, does it sound to you that this guy believed in an afterlife or not?
No afterlife.
Exactly, man. I mean, you can read the next verse, or I can read for you. I mean,
Yeah, you go ahead. I'm not the official.
Guy.
I'm not the official Bible reader here.
So who's this guy?
their love, their hate, and their jealousy have long since vanished. Never again will they have a part in anything that happens under the sun.
Right.
Who is this? Who is they?
Because they're dead.
Who is they?
Yeah, who
Oh, the
wrote
dead.
Ecclesiastes?
They say it was like King Solomon, right?
Oh,
I'm not sure who
fuck,
wrote it.
hold on, let's see what it says. Ecclesiastes. Okay, the words. Okay, the words of a guy named Koheleth, the son of David. This is the son of King David in Jerusalem.
Okay, so
Is it equivalent to a hadith book?
No, because it's
Like the Torah.
it's not part of
Like the
the
Torah.
it's not part of the Deuteronomy
that's a
of the
good question.
five.
Yeah, but I don't know the
It's
answer.
no, because I don't know. It's a good question. We could watch. We could watch.
No, it doesn't equal the because
I'll
the
tell you what
Quran
we
is the
could do.
word of God.
Tell you what we could do. Maybe not now, but we could watch the Yale University course lecture on Ecclesiastes, which.
But wait, we have a Jew in the room. We have a Jew in the house. Ben, who wrote Ecclesiastes?
Ben's not the right kind of a Jew. He's a false Jew. He's fake. Watch out. His answers are not going to be. He's not going to be able to trust you. Do not trust Ben's answers. I have a sign in front of me. Do not trust Ben's.
Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment, but because so they say that the New Testament is, even though it's written by men, it's actually written by God because God passed it on to them.
No.
So is that the same thing for the Old Testament?
No.
I thought
They say Moses wrote the Old
Solomon
Testament.
wrote it, but apparently not.
They say Moses wrote the Old Testament, but in fact it was written in Babylon during the exile, the Jewish exile.
Okay.
Yeah, there's good reason to think that Moses did not write, the first 5 books of Genesis, because it's the book of Exodus that talks about his death. So it's like, if I wrote an autobiography, I wrote about my own death.
Because Moses didn't make it into the land of Canaan because God made sure of that.
Like, isn't it weird that Moses wrote about his own death, man?
You know what they say?
No, it's not weird because Moses did not write the first 5 books. It was written like in 500 years before the Common Era in Babylon, by the Jewish the intelligentsia and intellectuals of Judea who were sent into exile to Babylon after Nebuchadnezzar conquered Judea in a war.
So that's the main reason why these historians don't think that Moses wrote them, even though Jews traditionally have said that Moses wrote the first 5 books, because he wrote about it. Because if he wrote those books, that would imply that he wrote about his own death.
He didn't. It's a fact that he didn't. So to say that he did is just a faith thing and something that you want to believe, but it's not true.
Those sound like a lot of truth statements without you having a
but I mean, I guess. I guess you could say that, Moses was a psychic, or, he got revelation from God that he would die, and God gave him the details, and then Moses went ahead and wrote them.
Okay, Dan.
Moses wasn't even a real. Moses is mythical. Don't forget that. So to say that Moses wrote anything. All right, go ahead.
Can I speak for a minute? Yeah. So what I've always been told by Christians when I got introduced to Christianity as a child was they said, the Bible, the New Testament, it's written by a man, but it was passed down from God.
Yeah, I mean, that's a standard answer.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. So my question, did they say the same thing about the Old Testament? I think they would.
Yeah. They do.
They most certainly would, yeah.
And also, I think it's in the New Testament, if you actually read the first words of the book, so if you open the Bible, the New Testament, flip to the front page, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, whatever. That page or whatever, that doesn't have an author. It doesn't say that Luke wrote it, or...
And I'll tell you why. Because the very first words of the Bible, Genesis, is an exact copy of the Enuma Elish story that preceded it by many generations.
And who wrote that one?
I mean, they don't know the identities of these people.
That was a story that was handed down from many generations. That was an actual sort of story, a book.
But he's asking who put it into paper.
The Babylonian Jews. That's what I'm saying. This oral tradition from many thousands of years of civilization, all blended, all came down, and was interpreted by the Babylonian Jews into what became the Old Testament.
I'll tell you what I know. Based on what I've read, man, the scholars who study this stuff say that, Genesis had more than one author. It had I read that at least 5 different authors for Genesis alone.
Oh, okay.
Well, Genesis 1 has a creation story, and Genesis 2 has a different creation story. Did you know that?
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, that when you read the First Testament, if any person picks up that book and they read it, right, what they'll come together by the end of the story is that first bit is written like it's written by God or something. Because he doesn't have an author. It's or whoever the author is, it's like he's connected to God or whatever. Because he doesn't state what you're saying, see. He doesn't say, oh, this is an old story. He just comes down and says it. In the beginning, like it's true.
Yeah, that's because that's the folklore that's the folklore that had been passed down through the ages.
Like I've never read.
It's amazing how they just folklore as fiction. So that's a work of fiction, folklore.
Yes.
And they put it in that book, and somehow it claims, or people take it as truth. I don't fucking get it, man. I swear to God.
Well, that's the indoctrination. That's the cognitive dissonance. That's the faith.
I've never read an ancient book where the author wrote who wrote it. You know, I mean, I've read the Iliad, I've read the Odyssey, I've read the Epic of Gilgamesh. None of them, man. They say none of them have anywhere, and they're saying like, oh, okay, I'm the one who wrote this, and this is my name, right?
Right.
I mean,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But usually it's not taken as truth, folklore. You know.
Just stick around the
So,
whatever.
Then you got.
Ben, your mic is very low. We can't hear you, Ben. So yeah, you're making a lot of noise.
I mean, not even Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John have anywhere in there saying like, oh, I'm Matthew and I wrote this. You know?
But it says the name, it says as the title, Matthew.
Yeah, that title was given to it centuries later.
Yeah.
By, centuries after it was written.
I agree with that.
This is putting me to sleep. This is putting me to sleep, guys.
All right. Well, why don't you put some pizzazz into the conversation?
Why is Christian Hillbilly muted? Hey, wake up.
Christian Hillbilly muted himself, I guess.
Oh.
Unmute yourself, Christian.
It's quite funny.
Yeah.
What can I help you with, ma'am?
What is the statement of...
Oh, what a day the Lord is made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Yeah, let us
Howdy,
rejoice
everybody.
indeed.
Howdy, sir.
Howdy, ma'am.
Have you repented of your false belief yet, ma'am? Have you figured out Muhammad died? Have you done your research yet?
I'm still a proud terrorist. Well, was it when he poisoned by a Jew?
There you go.
Yeah, proud terrorists, lives matter.
Poisoned by a Jew.
And I'm loving it. Yeehaw!
Wait, no brings it back?
Yeah, he walked in just at the right time. That was brilliant.
Can you do that again?
That was funny.
Oh man, it's no brains.
Is that my echo?
No, it's Jim's.
That was a one-in-a-lifetime experience, no brains, sorry.
Yeehaw!
Man, I was like, man, that's the type of girl I like to put a ring on, man. Make her my second wife, man.
I already have a wife, no brains. Stop cheating on her.
I'm just trying to, collect them, like get them to congregate.
Exactly. You already have a slave at home.
Hey, you know what they say, you gotta catch them all or whatever, right?
Nobody.
What the hell are you, King Solomon?
Thigh-high leather boots? Nobody, does your lady wear like thigh-high leather boots?
Like,
Nah, but I bet Siyaa would.
How many wives did King Solomon have?
No.
It's been a while since I read the Old Testament, so.
Siyaa, would you tie me up and tell me that I have a ugly pigskin or something?
I would strangle you, but...
Ooh, yeah, now we're talking.
I
will strangle you until you lose consciousness, and that's what you mean.
Hey, look,
That's pretty hot,
autoerotic asphyxiation by proxy.
Can you tell me in great detail what you would do to me, Siyaa? Would I be clothed or unclothed?
It's actually very easy to explain. I'm just gonna kill you and you die. That's all.
Hey, man.
And I'll bury you.
Why would you bury me? You have respect for me?
You taking my, yes, my
Do you want him
stick,
to
man.
wear your undies?
Because she doesn't want them to find the body.
What'd you say, Thomas?
You getting my stick, man. Come on.
Oh, shit, okay.
Nah, go ahead. You borrow it. There's plenty to go around. You
Like,
can't
Siyaa
wear it out.
loves to hate me, you know? Like, she loves it.
Dan, stop munching so much.
Love.
You're
Siya's
getting
gonna love
fat.
to hate her husband, I think. She's that type of girl. She loves to hate her husband.
How much weight do you gain since you are in a relationship, Dan?
Well, I mean, not a lot. I guess like 5 pounds.
Well, that's a lot. Somehow
The
people
heaviest
get
ever been in my
fat in
whole
a
life is like
relationship.
198.
I mean, I'll tell you this, man. I'm nowhere close to being overweight, so I can afford to gain a few more. Right?
Yeah.
How old is you, Dan?
15%.
How old am I?
10 to 15%.
Yeah, how old is you?
23.
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna marry her, Dan? Is she gonna be the mother of your children?
Well, I mean, I've only been dating her for 3 months, so I don't know.
Well, actually, after 3 months, you should know.
She ain't gonna keep that pretty face forever, Dan. I mean, if you're holding her back, you ought to let her go so she can try to find a man that's gonna love her. You filthy animal.
It takes me about a year to know, really. I think it takes about a year to really know a person. You have to go through all 4 seasons.
Well, you have a big ego, Alex.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think 3 months is enough, right?
No, actually it is. No,
okay.
actually it is.
Okay.
It's not that you decide if you're gonna marry her or not, but at that point you already should have known like who she is, what she's all about, if she's what the type of person she is, if you want to continue with a relationship or not.
Well, yeah, she's the type of person I would marry, but I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna marry her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you actually believe in a marriage, or do you think that's just Christian bullshit?
Well, no, I mean, I'm fine with marriage. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
to
what
me
I
it's
wanna
like
do
kind of
eventually.
strange an atheist, marrying, because you guys don't have the rituals,
doesn't
right?
have anything to do with God.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question.
Actually, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, some atheists do have what they call like humanist marriages, and they have some sort of ceremony, and someone who's authorized by the state to conduct marriages and make it official. But
She's
I mean,
Christian, right?
Marriage came from the Gnostics, and they didn't believe in God and shit. Like, it's spiritual. That they're gonna look at marriage. It's a spiritual.
No, marriage is religious.
No.
The Norwegians have a thing.
I do think that marriage was invented by religion. It's that religious convention.
Absolutely not. I can prove to you that it wasn't. The Gnostics had it before religion. That's a fact. So we know
people
that
were getting
Gnostics
married before the Gnostics, man. The Gnostics came about somewhere in the 1st century.
Nah, man. I'm talking about before that. Like before Egypt.
Where's Cryptor at, man? Does Cryptor think it's a good idea to sleep in Baltimore?
How do you think the Egyptians became with the creams and the medicines and the magic and all that? Do you think those people that were practicing those things before them, and before the Mayans and all that, they were doing it in the forest and shit? That's the Gnostic. So spirituality was born before fucking religion. It's common sense that it was. Because first people become spiritual. They sort of, isn't it though?
I think this is going to turn into a debate on, what is religion, or, how do you define that term? And, yeah.
Religion is a big cult, mate. There wasn't cult.
Argued with any dictionaries lately?
No, I mean, I fucking hate semantic debates, man. It's...
Whoa. I've read shit, I've think docos, marriage.
Holy crap, that is loud.
Must be true.
Like that a marriage
They
wasn't
got
marriage
fire,
started
boys.
by people who believed in spirits and gods and whatnot,
No,
and they tied it to their spiritual practices.
no.
I mean, we don't have to call it religion if you don't want me to. We can call it whatever you like.
It's awesome.
But I mean, I don't think that, you know, because it was started by spiritual people that it's only for them.
But let me finish. Before, even if you go into like tribes in the Amazon today, those people have no concept of God or anything like that, right? But they still have spiritual practices. Like, it's natural that they would want to celebrate the family unit, for example. When two people get together and they have one child, it creates the family. It's natural that they would want to celebrate that. Without God or without anything, and that's what they do, man. You have to realize these people that have language, they speak and shit. Like, what else are they supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that there are people in the Amazon who don't have a concept of God. You know, there's no word in their language for God, you know. But I mean, I think there's like a few tribes here and there that never
I'm just saying that. Yeah, actually,
the concept of God.
What I'm saying to you is that the way they're living,
right?
hold on, the way they're living today, that's how we was years ago, 10 and up to 50,000, we were exactly like that type of Dutch spirituality, basically. You know, we found
Yeah, can we talk about something else?
things in life, like, you know, obviously it was like
Yeah, an atheist
before
marriage.
the idea of religion.
I saw a video of it.
Some kind of wrote a fucking book on fucking, you know, a big fucking cult.
Can we
I
talk
saw a
about
video
something else?
on a humanist marriage once, man. It was like, you know, this atheist couple getting married, and I thought it was weird. You know, I've never seen anything like that before.
How does it look like? What is the oath you actually promise to each other?
I mean, it was pretty similar to the one that you see like on weddings on TV, but you know, there was like no God in it.
So the whole la 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 la, like that bullshit.
Here comes Siyaa for me. Here comes Siyaa for me. Here comes Siyaa for me, all dressed in white.
I come for you
Never
with a
had
sword.
nobody else's kids.
I mean, honestly, man,
With a sword.
like I wouldn't care if I got married in a church. I mean, I could talk the talk and, you know, yeah. Yeah, I don't really care. You know, I could get married in a church. It's like
married in a fucking church. There's no way.
like my vows would only be to my wife and not to God.
Who gets married at a church anyway? It's always outdoors and shit, fucking in the garden.
Man, you're European, Alex. You're European. but
Yeah, it's too hot in Texas for all that. My buddy had a cowboy wedding and it was fucking hot, man. You gotta be shitting me. Outside and all that. Oh my God.
My brother got married in his father-in-law's house, but you know, yeah, there was a pastor that came along and married him to his wife.
4
You know
p.m.,
what's
man?
really
It must be a
funny?
fire.
You know what's really funny about this whole marriage thing and how much importance and money is spent and how much really, like, the idea is that the party is huge, it's bigger. Like, when two people get married, they invite fucking 200 people or 1,000 people around, yeah? Or what about when they have their first kid? Like, they might have a small party. They place more importance on fucking marriage between two adults than a fucking child being born. That should be the celebration. The child being born.
We can't hear you, Persian.
That should be the greatest celebration.
That's fucking marriage.
What?
Oh, we know. We're selfish. We put one, the big on the marriage being born.
We can't hear you, person.
When a child is born, we'll probably have a small party or something.
I think what he's trying to say is don't get married, but get inside of those sugar walls.
You fucking don't want to get married.
Dang, a second engine, man. That's got to be a huge fucking fire, man.
Shit, I need
You
that.
can't see me or my
Yeah.
Whether you're married or not married, it's all what you make it to be. You know, don't put your life into somebody else's hands.
That's right. The fucking bitch goes, you know what? I'm fucking leaving you. I'm gonna fucking take half your shit. Go to your home. See that painting on the wall? I'm taking that cunt too, right? Alright, that's what happens, man. That's marriage. Come and talk to your Uncle Troll Owen about fucking marriage. Alright?
Uncle Troll Owen.
Yeah, I see person as a troll. No, as a uncle. Uncle Troll.
I'll be around.
Arjan, man, you should have
I'll be
ditched the
around.
bitch.
Mate, that's why
Without
watch
marrying.
YouTube videos of fucking husbands and wives hiring hitmen. Now I understand why.
And they kill each other for life insurance.
I see Persian as like one of those crackers that I would have a beer with.
Look, I haven't heard anybody describe marriage actually. Marriage is a covenant between a man, woman, and God.
Fuck that shit.
Marriage is whenever you finally get a girl to touch your pee-pee without God getting mad at you, man.
No, for real, it's a covenant between a man, a woman, and God.
You already lost your virginity at birth, no brain.
What are you talking about, Tom?
Birth? What?
Like, don't get married.
Explain that scene.
Like some rabbi sucked on your pee-pee.
I'm gonna say
Jewish. What?
Christian hillbillies married
Right? Sucked on your pee-pee.
Christian hillbillies like stopped his wife in her tracks from getting horny and reading 50 Shades of Grey. Well done, Christian. What happened? Give a round of applause for Christian. And what did she do? She left you. Yay! Good one, Christian.
I read 50 Shades of Grey. That book was fucking weird, man. It was weird.
Well, if she didn't get remarried,
You can't stop.
if she didn't get remarried, they're still married in God's
How
eyes.
can you not comprehend that the communion between a man and a woman stems back further than religion? How can you guys not comprehend that? What planet are you fucking on? Do you think religion fucking humanity just grew a brain 3,000 years ago or something, man? And before that we were fucking retards or something.
1700. No way.
Marriage is way before religion. It's got nothing to do with God. It's about the communion between a man and a woman.
Yeah, the Germanic barbarians, they saw marriage as like not necessarily love, like you would marry for love, but rather you would marry for the tribe and bear children to the tribe. So it wasn't that you would give children to your love or your lover, but rather you would take
that may be so.
does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm sure.
But marriage in the West, in Christianity, is a vow to God between a man and woman with God. It's a covenant between the three. Actually, between the five.
That's not true, Tom. I can go to the council and get married, and I've never stepped foot in a church.
It don't matter. It's still based on religion, on Christianity.
How is it based on Christianity, dude? I'm going with a girl to the council, and we go, we want to get married. Yep, here, sign, here, fuck, you're married. How the fuck does that have to do anything with God? What are you talking about?
Because it would have never survived. If that were the case, Alex, it would have survived the Victorian age.
What? Shut up. Would have survived. Religion hijacked marriage. That's all that happened. Religion has hijacked many things to claim it as their own. The soul, spirit, they've hijacked all these fucking words and they claim it as their own. Because why? Because they're lying pieces of shit. Fucking dog.
It says thou shalt not lie. Alex?
Like, that they lie to themselves, they lie to others, you know? Like, we all know that.
I lied to a girl once.
All these words, man.
I told her I loved her so she'd get naked. If she got naked, I didn't really love her.
It's pretty clear to me. I don't know you guys.
I don't know. I just kind of want. I kind of want Siyaa to like talk about killing me again, though. I don't even know. I'm trying to troll and be stupid, and like nobody's really paying attention. Really, I just want Siyaa to abuse me verbally.
Spiritual knowledge is way before religion. It happened thousands of years before we gained spiritual knowledge. Thousands of years before religion came out. Get that through your head. That's a fact. Like, it's not.
Yeah, I think the old ways are older than the Christian ways, right? Like the pagan ways, if you will.
Yeah. It's
I say Norse, but really I'm not Norse. I'm Celtic. But those pagan heathen ways, you know.
And in that way, in this way that we're talking about, Mel Gibson was right. Jews fucked the world because we were on a course of spiritual knowledge, right? And then Jews came along and introduced this one fucking cult, which is utter nonsense. You know, makes all these claims and shit like they were factual. Spiritual knowledge is not about that. It's not about making claims that are not fucking factual. You know, it's spiritual fucking knowledge, man. We all know what that is. It's not, you wouldn't say it's like religion, bashing and all, it's not. You know? They came and they literally just took everyone into the cult, the Jews, and Islam after that. And Hindu as well. But Hindu is really a philosophy. Right? It's not a religion. So Hindu and Buddhism are not religion. They're philosophies. They don't make any claims and shit. Even if you look at it, they have the God with the 4 hands, and that is the creator. But they won't claim.
Hinduism is a word for a whole
it's a philosophy.
You know, this like really large collection of, you know, religions and philosophies.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, there have been atheistic Hindu philosophies. Did you know that?
No.
I did not.
Yeah, I mean, you can find this information on the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. I mean, they go in detail, you know, with these atheistic Hindu philosophies. I mean, they're pretty cool. But they were hated by the religious people of the day, you know. And yeah, they were mentioned in Hindu Vedic scriptures and Buddhist scriptures. Because, you know, these were people who denied reincarnation and the soul, gods, and afterlife and all that stuff.
What I'm saying to you is that a Hindu, he doesn't, it's not like they have a book that tells them God exists and it's like this and he rules over you, and, you know, it's not, it's like you're saying, it's based on many books, based on many philosophies about their God and the creator.
Like, Hinduism is like Abrahamism, you know, there's a couple of different Abrahamic faiths. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, Hindu faiths out there. Or like, you know, faiths that fall under the umbrella of Hinduism. But I mean, some of them do. I mean, a lot of them do believe in, you know, some sort of God. I mean, a lot of them are monotheistic as well. Man. Like, you know, they think that, you know, the source of all existence is the Brahman.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and they believe, some of them believe in, you know, the Brahman, Vishnu, and Shiva, but they all originated from one source.
Yeah.
Did you ever talk to Ruddy Red?
Hindus worship statues, and they give food to statues, actually.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're.
I talked to Hindus about this. The Hindu that I talked to, he called that popular Hinduism. He talked to me about popular Hinduism, which is what you're talking about, Siyaa. And then he talked to me about philosophical Hinduism, and philosophical Hinduism is like,
you rather feed a statue than a fork it.
Yeah, philosophical Hinduism is about Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. Like, you know, Brahma is the creator, Siyaa transforms things, and Vishnu transforms things, and Shiva is the destroyer.
Yeah. Basically, so Hindu, it's monotheistic, and it predates
what?
But
it's monotheistic.
That's absolutely not true. It's not monotheistic. They worship different gods for different reasons.
No, it's one creator, one God that governs all. The one with the elephant with 4 arms. It's
the thing is, you're both right, man, and that's the thing with Hinduism. You know, it's a word for different philosophies. So yeah, there are a lot of Hindus who are polytheistic, and there's a lot that are monotheistic too.
Yeah, and also, so it's a monotheistic religion, and it predates Judaism.
So like,
what you happened before? Hold on, let me finish because I'm getting to another point. So it predates Judaism, you know, and then Judaism came along and fucking we've got what we've got today, Christianity and Islam. But what I'm gonna say is that
you don't make sense, Alex.
Listen, Hinduism never lied. There's no lies in it. Judaism, it's a lie from the beginning. It's a straight out, flat out lie because there's no lies because it's all philosophy. They don't ever claim that this is how it is.
Facts? It's just a philosophy. It's just that. It's not facts.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're saying they don't lie. What do you mean they don't lie? In order for them to lie, there has to be some truth, right?
In the religion, they don't lie. Like, they don't claim that Brahma is the creator 100%, and it's all just a philosophy about Brahma, the creator. And
I can say the same thing about my own religion. I can say the same thing that Islam is a philosophy.
Let me just finish because I want to finish. So
well, you don't make sense.
You can really look at what the Jews done with the first the Old Testament is the invention of the lie. I'm not sure, maybe it was the New Testament, but that bit where it says one book, one religion, the New Testament, it is, yeah, one cult, and then it begins off with a lie. In the beginning, there was God, and God created light. You say that? That's a flat-out lie from the beginning of the book. You say that? Hindu will never do that, or Buddhism. It doesn't lie like that. They invented lying. And when I think people were attracted to that, because we read it and then we go, oh yeah, look at this. Fucking, I'll show it to my son, and if he believes it, then he should believe every lie that I tell him. Because sometimes we do have to tell a lot of lies to children, you know, like to teach them, you know, and that's why we're attracted to it. I
don't know why I've been getting in like so many arguments lately. Like I've been arguing with like the boomer cucks. It's been crazy. I don't really enjoy arguing.
Not about stupid shit.
It's like exhausting.
Yeah. But Alex, I mean, all these Hindu philosophies, man, that they make false claims about the world too.
Tell me one.
Reincarnation.
Where does it say that reincarnation?
Oh yeah, a lot of Hindus do believe in reincarnation, Alex. Come on, you know.
Yeah, but where does it say? Where does it say in their book that reincarnation is a fact, like it says in our Bible?
I think it says so in the
Vedas,
man.
But have you read it? I don't. The Vedas all.
No, I haven't read the whole thing, but I picked them up. I picked the Mahabharata once, and I'll tell you why. Because I was staying at a hotel in Salt Lake City, and in my hotel, you know how hotels, they usually have a Bible, in the nightstand. This one had a Bible, a Book of Mormon, and a Mahabharata. And I picked it up, and I read it. I read part of it for the night, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah. Listen.
I tried to read the Mahabharata. That shit's fucking crazy, man. I can't read it.
I'll tell you something.
too much.
There's a difference between writing the words "in the beginning there was light" or "there was God and God created light." There's a difference between writing that, and then there's a difference
in a galaxy,
writing,
long time ago, far,
Alex,
far
do you
away.
like to hear your own voice?
But there's a difference between, with Hindu, they would write something like,
there once could have been a possibility that there might have been one time in the beginning that wasn't the beginning, it was the middle of the beginning because it wasn't quite the beginning.
they would say like, when there was a beginning, there was God. When this, that, it's like you're telling a story. It's not as if it's factual. In the beginning,
I can say the same thing about Islam, that is just a fact, that is just a philosophy.
I
can say the same thing.
On words.
I can say Hinduism is a religion, whether you're going to like it or not. They worship a statue, they pray to a statue, they sacrifice for a statue. That's all religious. They're not monotheistic.
They're not even smart enough to tell the cows not to poop on the vegetable stand. I mean, come on. Sorry, Siyaa.
And what else do they do? What else do they do that is a religion? They meditate, they pray.
These cows are holy, and so when they poop on the watermelons, their watermelons are holy poop melons.
People gotta understand, man, that Hinduism, that's a whole bunch of religions and philosophies, covered by that word.
I know, that's what it is a religion. Yeah. What is a philosophy? Definition of philosophy? Definition of philosophy, what is that? What's the definition of philosophy?
Religion today, the definition of religion today is that they claim that there's a fucking creator to the universe. That's the definition of it.
And a lot of Hindus believe that.
I'm saying what's the definition of a philosophy? That's
a
what
philosophy
I'm saying.
is just, it's a spin on words. Or a spin on words and data.
Isn't all religious books a spin of words? Isn't that all just a concept?
No.
Yes. All
I think all stories are a spin of words.
All religions are philosophies, but not all philosophies are religions. I mean, I think it's.
But Hinduism definitely comes under the banner of religion.
Yeah, I agree with you.
To claim it isn't, that's not accurate.
I mean,
look, I agree with you, Siyaa, as well, especially in the minds of everyone. I've just recently started change. I've had a few Hindus tell me, they go, man, if you really look, it's more of a philosophy, and it's like Buddhism. It's not like Christianity and Islam, and it's true because it's actually older than Buddhism as well, And you look at it, it's very simple, but what I was telling you, it's just the way that the choice of words that you use. Instead of saying in the beginning there was God, you can say there was a beginning. And there was a God,
Has anyone ever said anything and my response was like something along the lines of like, oh, now I'm going to change my mind?
No.
Really?
Everything
I have
you
to work
say
on that.
goes in one ear and the other ear out.
Siyaa, you're lying. I remember when you confessed your love to me.
They've been talking about Hinduism, man.
The words you just wrote as well, sorry to cut you off. Oh, the dead don't know anything. Who the fuck are these people to make that claim, man? Hinduism doesn't do that, dude. Or Buddhism. They never make claims like that. Stupid, absurd claims. Everybody knows. Listen, everybody knows we don't know.
When you die, your mind goes away. You won't know anything. You won't think anything once you're dead.
And you were talking to me, Dan?
No, I'm talking to Alex.
That's not true, dude.
I thought somebody said no brains and somewhere and all that.
Well, maybe I did. If I did, I misspoke.
Look, you could say that when you die, your brain stops working. That would be a correct statement. Yeah, but they're gonna say that. They go, the dead don't think. Fucking hell.
Well, I would say your brain stops working, your mind ceases to be, and if you don't have a mind anymore, I mean, your mind doesn't exist. I mean, how can you say that you think or you know anything?
And papa.
You know I'm fucking right, man.
You're full of shit, man.
You know I'm fucking right. If your mind goes away, you're not gonna know anything. You're not gonna think anything because there's no you to do the thinking or do the knowing.
Really? But energy cannot be destroyed, and my thoughts are energy. So how do you know that?
When when a
My
person
thoughts-
dies, that doesn't mean the energy is being destroyed. The energy transformed, but the person dies.
The body dies. Yeah, we know that for a fact.
You know,
We can't
when
say
a star blows up,
that
man.
don't
I mean, the energy isn't destroyed. The energy transforms, but you know, the star dies.
The star dies, but fucking, you know, that's it. The physical form of the star. I'm not saying they didn't say that. They didn't say that your body dies or the body cannot think anymore. They said that.
Actually, they do. They do say that. They say that you're gonna get reincarnated.
No, we're talking about the Jews. Yeah.
Well, I
was
was
talking
still thinking about Hindus.
Ecclesiastes. And honestly, man, I'm surprised to see an atheist disagree with that.
No, I can't believe you don't get it. Fucking hell, dude. Dude, I'm gonna ask you this. As a scientist, listen, we're two scientists in the room, yeah? You're fucking pretty much a scientist. I'm gonna ask you this question.
I have a bad
Do you
voice, man,
claim,
but okay,
listen,
thank you.
do you claim that the dead don't know anything? Because that would be
Yeah,
unscientific.
I actually do.
You're being unscientific.
How?
Because we
How?
don't know.
Please explain that.
Because
Alex.
we've never observed what it's like to be dead, so we cannot speak on the behalf of the dead.
Yeah, I've never been
It's
that.
pure.
honest, man.
Science is observation, man. You can't speak on something.
Are you
that haven't
trolling,
observed.
Alex? Are you being serious or not? If you're being serious, I'll shut up.
Yeah, but wait, hey, hang on. No, Brains, do you agree with me?
I'm not trolling.
When it comes to death, that once you die, that's it. You know, you don't.
Why would
Yeah,
you make
once-
listen?
Okay,
why would
hold
you
on.
make the leap from the body dying to listen? Why would you make the leap from the body dying to the dead don't know anything? Because sir, yes, the body dies.
Okay.
The brain
I'll
stops
tell you
working. The
I'll tell you
physical.
what,
When we're living, where do we hold our thoughts in our memory?
Yeah, there we go. In the brain, which is a part of the body.
And when the body or the brain loses life, how do? I mean, I don't get what you're saying, Alex.
Man, but that's weird. Okay, so we have the
Energy
atheist
cannot
who
be
disagrees
destroyed.
with this, and we have the agnostic, deist, pagan, whatever Nobrain says, who agrees with this. Man, that's weird.
I think that there's a potential creator, but like I claim to have no knowledge of him. So
It's actually more than no.
I mean,
It's actually no actually means observe. To know something is to observe it. So when they said the dead don't know anything, it means the dead don't observe anything as well. So how
What do the dead observe?
I can't believe that you don't get that it's unscientific to make a statement.
Answer the question.
I get you.
I don't know, Alex. Like I can't follow the
get
thought
you.
If a
process.
person is dead,
No,
on
but
a scientific
I get
way,
you,
like, I
argument,
get it
but-
on the religion way, but if a person dies, what is the scientific proof that they hear, feel, whatever you say?
The proof would be
There's not
that
no way.
the spinal
There's not
cord
no
is
way.
ceased to exist, and so the nervous system would cease to observe, feel, touch, whatever you said.
And do you know, and even if that's true, you know that in Islam we actually believe the same thing, right? So if it's scientifically proven that the death still sense something after they're dead, you know that that's actually exactly what Islam believes.
No, it's not proven though. No, it's not proven though. It's not proven either way. That's why you can't make a claim.
Then why are you
Alex,
saying it's scientifically
no
proven?
brain
Hold
and
on,
brain.
then.
You
Why are
guys
you
don't
saying it's
understand
scientifically proven?
the concept.
Alex.
of scientific.
I take your point that I've never been dead. I've never experienced being dead. I mean, that's fucking true. But I'm
So
making
you
an
can't make a
inference
claim.
I'm making an inference based on what I know from
So
psychology
now
and
it's a
neuroscience.
philosophy. Now it's a
I am
philosophy.
making an
It's not-
Alex, I'm making an inference based on what I know from neuroscience and psychology, and No Brains actually sort of outlined my line of thinking when it comes to
inference.
this.
What the
Yes.
fuck is an inference, man? And is that a fact? Like, is an inference a fact or not? Because you're coming
If it's a
across
good
like
inference, yes.
that book. Listen, that book. When he said the dead don't know anything, they said it as if it was a fact.
Who said that? The dead don't know anything. Who said that?
Alex.
It's in the First Testament.
Yeah, we read a passage from Ecclesiastes that said that. I don't know how they came to that conclusion, man, but I agree with them.
The dead can't know anything.
But that's unfactual to make that statement. That's what I'm saying, though, bro.
Alex,
that's not scientific. It's not scientific to say
Alex,
that, Donald.
Alex, as our friend Jim might say, how do people know something? What processes are going on in their bodies that allow them to know things?
It's observation. Go deeper. Go deeper.
Neurons firing in the brain, man.
Firing in the brain.
Pero si los ojos no ven. I'm sorry. Yeah, si los ojos no ven, no va a ver nada.
These functioning neural networks.
How is the very elegant, beautiful neural network firing when someone dies?
Well, how do you know what body they have after they die? If there's any type
you're
of...
talking about medicine.
Obviously. No, but obviously, you have a body here.
Alex, dude, I swear you're trolling us, man. You can't be serious right now. Like, you're trolling. You gotta be playing games with this, man.
Like,
these are metaphysics.
Your heart stops beating. Like this brain activity continues for a bit, but soon it'll stop, and that brain is going to be non-functional.
You know what you're basically saying now? You're saying horses can't fly. Horses will never fly. That's what you're saying. Horses.
No, they can fly if you put them on an airplane.
No. With wings or something on their own. That's what you're saying.
Alex, I make the inference that there are no Pegasus out there.
It's like, how the fuck do you know, buddy? Like, are you a fucking idiot? Like, how can you make that claim when you've never been there? Listen, you've never been there. No one's ever been there.
Based on my past experience.
Well, that's an assumption. So that now it's an assumption. We're assuming that they don't know anything. It's not a fact.
It's not like I'm 100% sure, but close enough.
Well, now it's a different. So now you've changed it. You're not 100%. Now you're saying you're not 100% sure. So what? The dead can know something. Is that right, Dan? Can the dead know something? How? How can they know something?
I don't think so. I don't think they can know anything.
But you just said you're not 100% sure.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, so in that 0.01%, how can the dead know something? You tell me.
Well, I don't have.
I mean, like, I saw a dead guy once and I asked him a lot of questions, but he just turned over and said, "Rrr." I think he had something around his neck, and that was when the air was let down.
Dead man tell no.
But dead man is telling you. Did you see in that movie? The cunt goes, "Oh, I can't tell him myself because dead man tell no tales." But yet he's a dead man telling that one.
Alex, do you like to hear your own voice? Do you like the sound of your own voice, Alex?
Alex, I mean, there are a lot of claims that scientists make, which are true, but they weren't directly observed, man. They were conferred.
No, that's not true. No,
dude, I was arguing with that John guy earlier.
There's no way in a science journal you'll find that a scientist says the dead don't know anything. It's ridiculous, dude. You're being fucking ridiculous. I'm telling you, you don't even get it.
I think it was
but all of
like 2 days ago that this article, these articles started coming out in all these scientific journals saying that scientists are now claiming that the afterlife is impossible. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I think there is science against the notion that your mind lives on after you die.
Is afterlife one word, or is that two words?
There you go.
It's one word.
How the fuck are these countries? Do you think it's
I'm not even English, and I know that it's one word.
That they put
I'm
in
from Texas, Siyaa. Like,
Alex,
man, come on.
You should know.
I haven't looked at the latest.
The way that we speak in Texas is different than the way that you write. That's why I didn't know.
Based on what I know, man, it's like highly improbable.
I speak 4 languages.
I know that's stupid, but that's impressive, Siyaa. I mean, like, I would want you to bear my children.
Wow, from speaking 4 languages.
Yeah.
Yeah. That they put it in the Old Testament in those words. It was unscientific.
But they all will be Muslims though.
That's all right.
Put across.
Alex, I mean, I wasn't there to see this, but I think the dinosaurs, most of them became extinct 66 million years ago, even though I wasn't there.
The fact that you would raise them with religioncy, it gives me some hope that you would raise them with structure. So I see this as a good thing. I don't care if you're religious.
Honestly,
But I would bury your kids.
So-
Sorry.
so like, you know, my mom has been
I don't want to be
visiting-
poisoned.
She's been staying in my apartment because she's visiting, and she left the
blood of
note
a pig
on
or
the front
whatever,
of the
right?
fridge, Alex. She left the note on the fridge, you know,
Alex left
tell
Dan.
me what I. Oh, okay. Yeah,
You
she
can
left the
stop
note.
pretending to like him.
She left the note on the
Dude,
fridge.
I can't
telling me
like
what I
keep
needed.
up with him, dude.
Oh,
You're
shut up.
swerving me out.
Fuck.
Go ahead.
Right, and I
One time when I was 6.
I wasn't there to see it, but you know, I infer that she left the note there in the morning before I woke up.
What note? What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man.
I gotta
Love
buy
you,
milk.
bro, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, that's because you keep talking over me like a dumbass.
Your mom left a note on the fridge.
Maybe if you would shut up while I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, you have the floor. Speak.
I already made my point. It's not my fault that you guys were talking.
Dude, I was trying to
Oh, I
convince
didn't
you to
know-
have my children. I don't know.
I didn't know that this was a dance show. Sorry.
I already made my point. If you missed it, it's not my fault that you were talking while I was talking, so sorry.
Yeah, my bad. I just thought you were still arguing with Alex, and I'm exhausted, man. I can't argue with these people anymore, man. It would be different if, like, you were arguing and you come to a conclusion and it's like, oh, I was wrong, or oh, I was right, or oh, we've changed our mind. You know, that would be totally different. But instead, these fucking things go on for fucking hours, and the words and everything, the argument, everything just changes and changes and changes.
Do you know why?
I was-
Because people like to hear their own voice. That's why.
I was trying to give an
Probably,
example of an inference, you know, a conclusion that I came without direct observation, right? Because, yeah, my mom left before I woke up, but she left a note in the fridge saying that I need to buy milk. I mean, it's not like I needed her to figure that out, but, you know, like, yeah, I infer
Are you sure it wasn't the...
I infer that she
Go ahead,
wrote it
sorry.
and left it there.
Are you sure it wasn't the spontaneous combustion transition, whatever it was, where the corn turns to a mouse or whatever?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that.
Oh, okay.
So what's the point? Your mom left a note on the fridge saying you need to buy milk.
No, that's not the point. The point is that I made an inference. You know, and I wasn't there. I wasn't there
Go
to
ahead, I'm
see it,
sorry.
Siyaa. I wasn't there to see it, but you know, I think that's probably what happened, man. And you know, if I believed what No Brain said that it spontaneously generated, I'd be insane.
Yeah, you know your own mother's handwriting, right? And she probably said, love mom, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a direct observation, man, but you know, it's common sense.
Yeah, but like if God says this is my word, you're gonna believe him. It is his word, right?
No. Sorry.
You would believe your mom's handwriting on the fridge of your on your fridge, the note on your fridge, but
Mhm.
you wouldn't believe God if he says this is my word.
Yeah, because I have prior experience of my mom writing stuff, and you know, I recognize her handwriting. I mean, I don't think I have a reason to, you know, conclude or infer that you know God wrote it.
No, I mean God
Or that
didn't wrote it, but it came from God.
Okay, that you know these men were writing it, you know, through divine inspiration or whatever.
What if the message resonates with you?
I mean, yeah, I mean sometimes it does, but it's like, I mean, honestly, man, I don't see a reason to think that, you know, it came from God somehow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
right. I think
I mean,
it's a
my point
personal
was,
experience.
yeah, my point was pretty simple, but, I've been trying to explain Alex what an inference is in science for a while, and I don't think he gets it.
No, he was just yelling.
But
I don't
I
think
mean,
he
yeah.
actually listens to your argument. I think he just talks to you.
Yeah, but-
yeah, I
Like,
suspect
thing is-
that as well, Siyaa.
Thing is, No Brains went a little deeper than I was gonna go. With like the brain stuff, and
Was I supposed to do that or not?
No, I mean I don't mind. I mean, it's not like you were wrong, right? I mean,
Can you
It's
draw
like-
on a board what you mean with that? Can you make a brain and the perception of God and whatnot, and to explain that to dummies?
Who, me or what?
I mean,
Well, I mean, no brain's got it. It's like, yeah, if your mind is brain activity, and once the brain and the rest of the body dies, I mean, does your mind live on? But because I mean, see, people like Alex and I, we don't believe in a soul, right? We believe that the mind and the body are not like two separate entities. So
I don't believe it's a separate entity. I believe that the soul is a third entity.
a third entity.
Yeah.
Right, separate from the first two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess Dan, Alex, and I, we believe that they're one and the same. That when the brain dies, then it's no more.
See, like the cards thought that the mind and the body were separate, right? But I'm not the card, so. I mean, a lot of people think that way. I mean, it's an old belief. Plato thought that way too. That you had the mind. I mean, Plato thought that there was like the mind, the body, and the soul.
Mhm. Yeah, I
I
believe
mean-
that 100%.
Why did it tell me to get all the way to the right from the left, and now that I'm in the right lanes just keep ending. The left lanes are still going straight.
Let's go straight. Never veer.
So what's the reason that you don't believe that there's a soul?
Lack of scientific evidence.
Like, what is so scientifically proven about that?
There's not been any discovery of the third entity that you spoke of.
Well, if something isn't discovered, does that mean that it doesn't exist?
Of course
Or
not.
it can exist?
Good point. Good point. Of course it doesn't mean that.
What's the topic of the room?
Oh, we're talking about
soul. Does a soul exist?
Yeah. Yeah, John. Okay. Do you think that the mind
Dr.
and the
Bob
body
says dogs don't have souls.
are like two different entities?
Sorry.
What are two different entities?
The mind and the body. Like they're not one and the same.
I think your mind is part of the chemicals and the synapses and neurological processes that take place within the body.
Okay. Okay. So, do you believe in a soul that's like distinct from the body, or?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so.
Yeah, 'cause, you know what dualism is, right? When it comes
I've
to the
heard
mind
of
and
it.
body. Like the cards who said that the mind and the body were different, and Avicenna said the same thing.
It's hard to describe what a soul is, right? I mean, it's pretty difficult to define a soul.
Yeah, I agree. I actually agree with that.
I know what it is, but it's difficult to explain what it is. I know what it is, but to actually explain to another person what it it's kind of hard.
I mean, people have told me it's like the part of you that lives on once the body dies.
What do you think about ODMs or whatever, or ODEs? I'm sorry, outer body OBEs, outer body experiences. So, for example, in the hospital, they'll have a trauma patient come in. They'll put numbers on top of the cabinets, and then supposedly these people leave their body, and they'll ask them, what were the numbers on top of the cabinets, and then they'll be able to tell them.
No. Hi, Boo.
Wait. Ben, are you talking?
That happens, doesn't it?
Sorry?
We'll talk about.
Yeah, your mic is kind of low, so.
Who, mine or Ben's?
Ben's.
Oh.
But I mean,
I never really had a out of body experience.
Nor have I.
I've had experiences where absolute deja vu. Like I have a dream of something that will happen. Like I just think it's a dream, and then like 2 weeks later, that whatever took place in my dream happened in real life.
Yeah,
I think that's like having a small seizure in the part of your brain that where you store your memories, and so when you're experiencing the moment, you have this feeling of I've already experienced this, but it's just
it's fucking crazy. It's weird. It feels weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I've had it a few times, many times.
I've had deja vu experiences, but you know, I didn't. It's not like I had a dream before and I saw this happening in my dream, but it's like, you know, I had the feeling that, oh, I've seen this before, you know.
Yeah, that's deja vu. So was I clear on the outer body experience thing, or should I go over that again?
Yeah, I think you were clear, but I mean, it's not like I've read too much into it, but I don't recall reading an example like that, you know, where a person told the doctors the numbers.
Yeah, more often than not, they'll not be able to get it right. But ever fucking now and then, there seems to be a person who does seem to have a memory that's outside of their body, which is very peculiar.
I actually feel that I had an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
And it was like in a semi-dream.
Was it the first time you met me?
No, that's like.
Go ahead, see, I'm just fucking with you. I'm sorry.
They
you were in a semi-dream state.
You know,
yeah,
they are out of body experiences, but they usually call them near-death experiences. You know, because a lot of them, you know, a lot of the reports are when people have died or, you know, they were close to death, and you know they report being experiencing their soul leaving the body and seeing a bright light or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I said a trauma patient, you know, so someone who's been hit by a fucking train or something. They come in, they're about to fucking die. Yeah.
Yeah. It was obvious you were talking about a near-death experience, but you know, I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but I mean, that's usually what they call it. NDEs.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Near-death experiences.
I think it's probably possible for it to happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you believe in a soul, man, yeah, I mean, you could say that, yeah, you know, it's the soul leaving the body for a moment and then going back for some reason. But yeah, I don't believe in a soul, so you know, I got to find a different explanation for that. So
I'm calling misogyny on 3 people.
Oh God.
I'm calling misogyny on John, and
me?
and Dan, and No Brains. Yeah.
Misogyny?
Yes.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because see, I was just about to tell you about an out-of-body experience, and I was just all getting ready to listen to it, and all of a sudden Siyaa became irrelevant, and the 3 fucking misogynists all started talking about whatever bullshit out-of-body experience they never had, but what's possible.
I mean, the good kind of woman.
So,
Sydney, man, I can't believe you stooped so low.
You can call it stooping low. You can call it stooping low, but I'm calling you out for
this is your
filibustering
this is your low tier,
and not allowing a fellow panelist to carry on talking after she'd introduced the subject, the topic that she was going to talk about.
all right, go ahead, see. I'm gonna.
Hold on, Sydney. What's your critique of me? What are you saying?
Misogyny. Women are irrelevant. Who gives a fuck if they got something to say?
How could women be irrelevant? We're here because of them.
Well, they were relevant in this Hangouts. They got other things that they're relevant for.
We went to having a conversation amongst the men only and totally overstepped her.
Oh, did I talk over her? I apologize.
All 3 of you did. All 3 of you, obviously, You heard what she had to say. You heard she said she had an out-of-body experience, and all three of you decided, she's just a woman. Who gives a fuck that she's going to say anything? I'm going to start talking about what I think other people have said.
Guard the eggs. Protect the eggs. Save the eggs.
I heard that she didn't have an out-of-body experience.
Well, then you better get your ears checked.
Yeah, I said I did. I had this out-of-body experience.
Now, would it be okay, sorry, Siyaa, but would it be okay if we heard about Siya's out-of-body experience? Without being interrupted? Without her being interrupted.
The eggs.
You're absolutely right.
We must protect the eggs. They're the only eggs we have.
If we're talking about
Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute my mic so Siyaa can continue. I want you all follow along, children.
Thank you.
I won't mute the mic, but I'll listen. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I had an out-of-body experience. Oh, okay.
Is that it?
No, no. Well, if you give me a minute. Well, it was like I was in a semi-dream state, and I felt like, somebody, like there was a shadowy figure standing next to my bed. And he was looking down upon me, and I looked at him, and I felt like I wasn't like fast asleep. I was like very lightly asleep, you know? And then he did something with his hands, like to get up or something. And I felt like some energy coming from my body, and I could see my body actually laying down. But my soul, I think it was my soul, actually sitting down, like sitting, like having actually sit down on top of my body. And then I felt like my breath was taken away for a few seconds, and then I woke up. I still don't know what that means. I don't know if it was real or just a dream, but yeah, I think it was an out-of-body experience.
Very cool.
Now, Papa Bear, are we allowed to speak now? Is it safe to?
Yes. I'm sorry. My unmute button. My unmute button means it's time to free for all.
All right, good.
The Papa Bear.
A friend of mine had an out-of-body experience, and he's really like atheist, rational kind of guy.
Wait. Before we continue on with someone else's, maybe we should critique the woman before people might think we don't want to have her opinion.
Okay. Here's my critique. What makes this woman think she can speak amongst men? Mic out.
Okay, let's just carry on. Who's next?
Well, don't you want to talk about her out-of-body
No,
experience?
I just wanted to hear about it.
So how are you ending up in watching this?
Well, thank you, Sydney, for giving me the floor to talk about it.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I've listened to a couple on the internet, and that seems a very standard out-of-body experience. I think that's definitely what you had, Siyaa.
Yeah, I believe so too. Yeah.
Oh, where would we be without Papa Bear?
I don't know.
It would be chaos. Admitted.
But we're all teasing, but really, you did the right thing, Sydney. This is why we call you the benevolent dictator. You know,
exactly.
The Sydneytarian dictatorship. You know.
Uh-huh.
Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem.
Well, if it wasn't for Sydney, I couldn't get a word in, actually. You guys talk, and if a woman talks, it's like, well, at least if it's me though. But if it's other women, like you give her the space and room to talk. It's just because I'm a Muslim. That's why.
I mean, like if a white woman talks, I have to pay them attention. You know, this is just how it is.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
I don't think white women are allowed in here.
They don't even come in the calls. So
No.
There you go.
cat stops in every once in a while.
I think most white women aren't intelligent enough to operate a computer, let alone put it on.
What the fuck? White men
Ooh, no brains triggered.
Wasn't probably white men.
See? You like that one, huh?
No brains.
I have to give you that.
Well done.
McClam.
So tell me something, no brains, in your ethno state. No one's ever going to have to put a lock on their front door. I think it's wonderful.
Robert Putnam did a study, and he basically was a liberal, and he was trying to go out and prove that people are happy under diversity and multiculturalism and all these things. And he basically took years to release the study. I think this was a Yale. I think it was for. I don't remember if it was Harvard or Yale. I think it was for Yale. And it's very interesting. So the less diversity you have, the more of a high trust society. So even areas that were biracial, meaning only black and only white, they were more likely to leave the doors unlocked. What we would know as a high trust society. So leave the doors unlocked, associate with the neighbors, even have, you know, barbecues or whatever, or get-togethers where people would. And then a low trust society would be like someone who never speaks to their neighbor. They don't talk to strangers. They often take longer showers. They have fewer friends. They suffer from, more likely to suffer from depression. Obviously lock the doors and you know, or hug their purse or their wallet in crowds and stuff like that. And so in homogenous societies, you are more likely to have a high trust society. So, you know, even if we have a bunch of knucklehead white people in our ethno state, there still will be a more likelihood of having the door unlocked.
Okay, so in your ethno state,
just because of homogeneity.
I haven't locked my front door in 2 years.
One quick question. You know, you haven't left your house in 2 years, maybe. Okay, so in your ethno state, all the children that are product of these white children, they're all going to be non-dysfunctional children. They're going to be brought up in beautiful families. None of them are going to turn to breaking entry, stealing cars, doing vandalism, doing the stuff that kids say black kids do. God forbid white kids should do these things, right? So in your ethno state, there's going to be no crime. You're going to have very small police force because they're all good white people.
Well, basically, I appreciate your blessing, but I do think that it's wishful thinking. There will be a lot less crime because you'll have more of a high trust society, and white people in particular, like the East Asians, don't normally engage in you know, these sort of smash and grab violent activities. But
look at England.
The police,
it's full of white people, full of crime.
There will still be people stealing, robbing, looting, raping.
Look at England.
Everything that humans do.
Look at England before the Muslims came. It was a hive of crime. White people crime.
Mm-hmm. But I think that no brains means that it's okay if it's a white person versus a Muslim or any other immigrant.
It feels nice when you get robbed by your own kind, right? Like when
it feels
when I get
worse.
rolled up by a white guy, you know what? I don't feel bad that I get a good.
No, I'm sorry. It feels worse.
If it's a Schwarzer, I feel like a prick. You know, I gotta pay for this fucking guy's bread tomorrow. You know, it's.
You gotta be trolling.
Fucking hypocrites.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
Well, I mean, you know, I feel like you're trying to like bless my ethno state with holy wishes and everything, and I appreciate that. But
no, what I'm saying,
that I don't think that I'll have to you know, take all the locks off my door because I won't have a use for them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying your ethno state will.
I'll definitely still walk around with pepper spray in my pocket.
Exactly, your ethno state.
We already have a white ethno state. It's called Wyoming.
Your ethno state will be no different. Your ethno state will be no different.
I've been to Wyoming. I've been to Wyoming. It's a very safe, beautiful place. A lot of white people.
Very cold.
Very cold.
Very extremely cold. Yeah.
But so are New Yorkers and Texans.
What?
What about New Yorkers?
Very cold, rude.
Yeah, New York, yeah.
Texas.
We hate each other. We want everyone wants everyone dead in New York.
Sounds like Israel.
Yeah. We Muslims can help with that.
Sure. You can help facilitate it, I guess.
Yeah, we can help.
Hi,
with
John,
that.
have you been to Israel?
I have never been to Israel, no.
Do you have an obligation to go?
Not really, no.
No, he doesn't.
Plan on it?
No, he doesn't.
I do plan on it one day, yeah, God willing.
So, are you going to live there?
God willing, one day, yeah. God willing, yeah.
What's standing?
You gonna marry a Palestinian girl?
Why can't you go next week?
If someone wants to fund, my room and board for a couple months while I set up, yeah, go ahead, donate to my PayPal. Okay.
How much would it cost?
That's a good question. I don't really know. Probably a few thousand to set up.
Could you be taken in kind of like as a indentured servant on a kibbutz for a while to fund it?
Are there still kibbutzes around?
Oh yeah.
Are there?
Yeah.
Very popular on the frontier in the Palestinian territories. They build kibbutz. They have to walk around with Uzis, the men and women.
Oh, that's something to look into. I talked about that once with a friend once, and he said they weren't really around anymore.
Oh, they are.
All right, good to know.
All you got to do is look at the Israeli casualties when from the war, or when somebody dies in combat. There's.
I can't really hear you. Someone's on the mic smacking.
Some soldier from kibbutz this or kibbutz that.
Yeah, I don't really feel like living where I have to walk around with a machine gun all day.
Didn't I get
Yeah,
Israel?
but it's an Uzi and it's Israeli made.
Yeah, I'd rather stay in Brooklyn.
It's not as safe.
Yeah, but that's not.
Brooklyn's not as safe as Israel.
You don't think God would protect you if you went to Israel?
Sure, God protects all of us.
Well, I thought that's where Jews need to all seek to be in Jerusalem.
When there's a Jewish state, when the kingdom is reestablished, we do have to go back.
So you basically waiting to be miracled over there, right?
If you want to use those terms, sure.
Okay, cool.
The state of Israel is a secular state. I don't support the secular state of Israel.
Yeah, I get that. I know it's acidic.
Like I don't.
Yeah, but the religious right is the one that's having the most babies. The Orthodox will inherit the state before too long, anyways, right? Based on birth rates.
Is that what's going to happen? We just keep breeding and we'll inherit it? Good. All right.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Right, the meek shall inherit the earth. Is that Old Testament or New Testament? I don't remember.
That's New Testament. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Meek, but doesn't the meek mean poor and downtrodden?
Oh, I never looked up the definition. I just assumed
It means
it
the
was.
poor will, the poor will rule over the rich.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's all right, no biggie.
Well, I guess that's right, right? Yeah, the religious right often, and forgive me if I'm stepping on toes here, but the religious right in Israel, they're often live off the welfare, right? They spend most of their time studying, praying, et cetera, whereas the seculars are the ones that go to war, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, they're conscientious objectors.
There's nothing wrong with collecting welfare and milking the system.
All they are is breeders. And
I think
it's totally different when you're betraying your own brethren.
Well, it's no different than what the Mormons do here in the United States. They have, a guy has 2-3 wives, and they all have 6 kids each, and then they all collect welfare.
Right, the Orthodox Jews aren't really parasites like Muslims. Different.
I mean, the way I see it, man, if you're gonna take money from the government, return the favor, right?
Well, there shouldn't be government to begin with, and there shouldn't be welfare.
Oh.
No.
So anarchist alert.
It's just take, and don't give.
See, if I were a Jew living in Israel, I would look at all the other Jews and go, wow, you know, these are my folks, these are my blood, you know, these are my people, and I would to want to go and work hard and pay extra taxes or something, you know.
Most Orthodox
right now,
Jews look down on the secular ones.
Sure.
Right.
Right now,
I would if I was Orthodox, because you're making the sacrifices that they're not willing to make.
Right now I'm upset because, you know, the government takes a lot of my money and doesn't give me a good deal. But, I mean, honestly, man, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, fuck the government. They don't have to give me money. But, I mean, stop taking so much of my fucking money. You know,
yeah, it's like I go bust my ass and I could barely fucking afford shit. And then I look and he got fucking Tyrone and he's got 7 baby mamas and fucking he's running a Cadillac, you know? Like, what the fuck's going on here?
I mean, you know, I'll give you some money, man. But, I mean, you take too much. Right now.